And I think when I come back as a heavyweight, I'll try to do more legally controversial shit.
So that was a fucking lie.
Okay, Cal's trying to take my position. It's Lady Cali Blue. So, if she could say, she would say, welcome to One Shot Table Talk. I'm crazy, and I like to eat stuff, and I like to run really fast, and yeah, I'm the logo of this channel. It's my big girl right here. Tell them, welcome to One Shot Table Talk. What's up, guys? Welcome to One Shot Table Talk. Let's go ahead and hop into the UFC. So, UFC 266 recap. Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega has to be the fight of the year. I'm telling you right now, Volkanovski got that W. He defended his belt once again. The fight had me on my toes for the whole 5 rounds. Seriously. But shout out to Brian Ortega because not only did he try to get the champ in 2 submissions, he won the 5th round. That guy, Brian Ortega, I met him in Houston. I didn't get a picture with him, but I did meet him. And it's just crazy. It's crazy to me. That division right there is on fire too. Like, now we're going to probably be able to see Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway, and then they will decide on who's going to fight the champ next. Alexander Volkanovski, man. Alexander Volkanovski could have tapped. He was gurgling. And now we got Henry Cejudo calling out Alexander Volkanovski. Henry Cejudo's called out everybody under the sun. You know what I mean? Seriously, what do? I'll tell you what you do. Alexander Volkanovski's not going to end up fighting Henry, but it could happen. Would I pay to watch the fight? Yes, I'm going to pay to watch the fight. Are you going to pay to watch the fight? Maybe. But if not, you'll probably come and hang out with me and we'll watch the fight together. But what I'm saying is that I don't think it's going to sell a lot of pay-per-views. And Henry Cejudo, is he even really, like, not being fake? You know, is he just being cringy? Like, is he really going to come back to the UFC? You don't know until the shit happens. All you got to do is let time play, and we will see if Alexander Volkanovski versus Henry Cejudo will be in the works. But right now, I think Alexander Volkanovski will be getting his time off from the UFC, relaxing, having a bottle of champagne, getting drunk with, you know, your boy Dan Hooker, you know, celebrating. Hopefully Israel Adesanya comes over and hangs out with him. But we don't know until shit happens. But getting back to the UFC 266 recap, man, we got Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. And let me tell you, Robbie Lawler brought the fight. You know, he pressured Nick Diaz. He kept pressuring, kept walking him down. What did Nick Diaz do? He did that 2-1-3, the 1-2 and the 4, and the 5-6 and the 7. You know what I mean? For all of my monthly viewers or, you know, whatever. But that's what happened, man. Robbie Lawler walked Nick Diaz down. Nick Diaz, it seemed like he wasn't 100%, right? It seemed like he wasn't in peak performance, right? And I want to see Nick Diaz be in his peak performance as an older man. You know, I want to see Nick Diaz fight again, but right now I didn't see that Diaz, that last name. I saw, like, you know, he's touching him up. You know, I'll always be the Diaz brother fans, you know what I mean? I'll always be a fan of them, and it's just crazy to see that, you know, the weight change and everything. You know, he posted pictures on Instagram. He's all cut up and looking good. And then he shows up on weigh-ins and he looked like, you know, he had a couple beers or something. All I'm saying is that I'll always be a Diaz fan, but we want, as UFC fans, to see him at his peak performance at an older age as an older man. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him fight like he fought when Anderson Silva, or back in the day when he did fight Robbie Lawler. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of things to talk about with Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz, but we'll get into that later. Still in UFC 266, we have Valentina Shevchenko. She defended her belt once again in a spectacular fashion. It was very impressive. I'll tell you that right now. I would like for her to move up, and I would like for her to fight Amanda Nunes, but I doubt that will happen. Everybody in the flyweight division is scared of Valentina Shevchenko. She did great against Lauren Murphy. I don't see really anybody taking her on. And there's no call-outs. There's not like, oh, me next on Twitter. You know how everybody does. Valentina Shevchenko is the GOAT, and we shall see what happens with her in her future. She will be booked into the Hall of Fame for sure. And it was I enjoyed watching Alexander win. I enjoyed Robbie. I mean, it just seemed like they're old to me. Robbie, Lawler, and Diaz, it just seems like they're not on the championship level. And I'm not like, I'll watch it. Of course I'm going to watch it. It's the Diaz, right? But is it really like what I want to see? Is it like Usman and Colby Covington? No, right? Is it like watching, even if it's a star power, like McGregor and Poirier? No. McGregor and Nate Diaz? Hell yeah. But Nate Diaz versus Robbie Lawler, it was kind of a bummer to me because it don't matter. But anyways, so Jon Jones went to jail in Las Vegas a few hours after being rewarded to the Hall of Fame, UFC Hall of Fame, with his fight against Alexander Gustafsson in 2013, right? It was a badass fight, and they ended up fighting again in, I think, 2019 or 2018 on my birthday, December 29th, and to the revenge of it all, and Jon Jones ended up winning again. What happened is Jon Jones got rewarded. He got his black or dark blue with the gold jacket. He got rewarded to be in the UFC Hall of Fame. And Jon Jones went to his hotel with his wife, right? Left his wife at the hotel, went to the ATM, pulsed out $10,000, right? Cash. Went to the nearest strip club. And even before this, he was drinking right after he got rewarded, okay? So, he leaves his wife at the hotel. He's kind of feeling lit. He's like, oh, he's feeling good. Went to go pulse out money. Met up some buddies. I don't know who the buddies were, but they went to the nearest strip club. And I guess he threw it all. I don't know what he did. But, he ended up making his way back later that morning, that night, back to his hotel, waking his wife up, like, hey, and they started having an altercation, right? Well, he had an altercation. She was trying to get a new car. I think he might have locked her out of the hotel or something like that. I'm not for sure, but he ends up trying to leave, and when he leaves, the cops are already called. They see him. He gets in an altercation with the cops, gets big old headbutt, right, onto one of the patrol cars. They try to arrest him. They end up arresting him, and he made sly comments like, "Uncuff me. I want to take all three of you on. I want to see what you guys can do." You know what I mean? And so, long story short, is that he went to jail. He got like some aggravated assault, battery, yada yada yada. But this is expected from Jon Jones. Jon Jones, back in the day, he had a couple DUIs, DWI. He got popped for the steroid thing, and it was only like just a little bit, and he took like some gas station dick pill and blah, 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 blah. This is expected from him, just like Dana White says, right? He was only there for about 12 hours and ended up in jail. So, I mean, what do you do? I'm a fan of Jon Jones. I'm not a fan of him, putting his hand on his wife and stuff like that. I'm a fan of him inside the octagon. And hopefully he's able to get through this and push forward. And I really think a main factor of all of this was alcohol. Alcohol has me sometimes getting crazy when I start drinking just straight whiskey and just straight clear vodka or whatever, and it looked like, that's what he was drinking. So what do you think's going to happen? When you're drinking past midnight, like my mama said, bad things happen, right? You need to go ahead and go to sleep after midnight when you've been drinking like that. You know, you shouldn't even be out past midnight. Anyways, but long story short, let's get Jon Jones back in the groove, and I want to see him winning some fights. And before I leave on the Jon Jones note, he was dropped from the number 2 pound for pound ranking, and now Kamaru Usman moves up to number 1. So it's Usman number 1, Jon Jones number 2, and etc., etc., etc. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about this Saturday at the UFC Apex, right? We have Thiago Santos versus Johnny Walker at light heavyweight. We have Kevin Holland versus Kyle Dawkins for middleweight. You know, I want to see my boy Kevin Holland. And then we also have at welterweight Alex Oliveira, Cowboy, and versus Nico Price. I can go ahead and say that I got Thiago Santos winning it. I have Kevin Holland winning it, and I have Nico Price winning it. If y'all decide, you know, or want to comment and let me know who y'all got for this weekend, let me know. Not going to cover too much about that, but we will be recapping it next week. Let's go Kevin Holland, let's go Santos, and let's go Nico Price. We will see if Johnny Walker actually brings that thing that he's talking about. UFC 267, October 30th. Aljamain Sterling pulled out of the fight for medical issues, right? Some type of reason with his neck. He had some surgery on it. If he moves it the wrong way, he could get paralyzed or something like that. So Aljamain Sterling pulled out against Peter Yan. Peter Yan will now be fighting Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen stepped in to fight Peter Yan underneath Jan and Glover. Jan and Glover will be at UFC 267, October 30th. Let's see what happens. Also, Khamzat Chimaev will be making his return at UFC 267 against Lee Jangalangling. Some guy, I can't pronounce his name, so that's how I'm going to say it. But Khamzat Chimaev, he got COVID. It damaged his lungs pretty bad, and he wasn't able to fight. The last time he fought was against Mershart, September 19th, 2020. You know what I'm saying? So, Khamzat Chimaev, he'll be coming for people's heads, and I bet you're going to be a first-round knockout. I got him winning as well on UFC 267. Dan Hooker just took a fight. He just fought last weekend, right? Just last weekend. It's October 1st. Dan Hooker just took a fight against Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is one of Khabib's boys, right? Dan Hooker is staying in the States. He's going to be getting that 1-2 big hitter, baby. He's coming. So I hope Dan Hooker wins against Islam Makhachev. We shall see where things go. But, you know, One Shot Table Talk, we'll get into it when it happens. Yeah. Let's go Dan Hooker. UFC is finalizing a bantamweight bout, and that will be Ravioli Pava versus the one and only Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley, December 11th, UFC 269. Let's get it, baby. But anyways, thank you guys for watching another episode of One Shot Table Talk, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.